how many things, awful things do the Microsoft employees have to do before we just decide, you know what, maybe Microsoft just needs to be emptied out and they just need to start over. So in the last several weeks alone, we had groups of Microsoft employees gathering together, throwing around fake dead bodies, pouring fake red paint to make, or fake blood in the form of red paint, and chanting "Go away, Jews" outside of Microsoft campus. Then we had Microsoft employees going on the internet in droves from all different divisions within Microsoft, their games divisions and otherwise, to praise the murder of Charlie Kirk, to celebrate murder and death, and calling anyone who likes Charlie Kirk fascist and just attacking Charlie. It was disgusting and horrific. Now, the chief technical officer, the CTO of Microsoft Azure, says the USA is a fascist regime and goes on the offensive against Trump himself. Now, I am all for people having their own political views outside of work. I'm all for it. You know, if you leave your stuff at the door when you go to your job, I don't care what your politics are. You can be pro-Trump or anti-Trump, pro-USA or anti-USA. I don't care. As long as we can all work together while we're at our day job, that's all that really matters to me. However, there does seem to be a growing problem where people at Microsoft can't seem to divide that line. So they'll use Microsoft company property to chant "Go away, Jews." They'll use the same social media accounts that they use to talk about job openings at Microsoft, the release of new Microsoft products, etc., to praise the murder of Charlie Kirk. And the same thing is now happening with Mark Russinovich. Mark Russinovich is the CTO of Microsoft Azure, and I'm just going to read a couple of his posts. Trump's foreign policy is explained by the fact that Putin has been blackmailing him with information that Trump doesn't revealed. That's exactly what he wrote. I'm just reading it verbatim. Any actions he takes against Russia are cover that he and Putin agreed to. He then continues, the Supreme Court continues to show it's an enabler of the fascist regime, meaning the United States of America. The U.S. government is a fascist regime. He just says it flat out. It's horrifying. And it's even more horrifying that the Republican Party and Supreme Court do not just stand by and watch. They support and enable it. And of course, he posts that all over on Blue Sky, because of course he does. If it's not on Blue Sky, it's over on Mastodon or whatnot. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that really concerns me here. It's not that Mark Russinovich, who is a Spanish American, I think he was born in Spain, but I think he's an American citizen now, and his family is Croatian. So he's a Croatian Russian or Croatian Spanish guy, whatever. What bothers me about him having these views is not him having these views. What bothers me is he's in the leadership position to deal with all of the other people that are using Microsoft resources to spout pro-murder, anti-democracy stuff, spouting off about how Charlie Kirk deserved to die because he's a fascist, blah, 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 spouting off about how Jews need to get out of the company and go away, Jews get out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, breaking into Microsoft offices and just ransacking the office of the president of Microsoft. Crazy stuff. And Mark Russinovich is in a position to need to figure out how to handle these people. But he's out there claiming that the attacking Trump almost daily. Again, those three posts I read you were just like 2 or 3 days apart. Each one was 2 days apart. So he's out there all week long attacking President Trump, attacking the United States of America, calling the USA a fascist regime, the whole USA, the whole gosh darn thing, attacking the Supreme Court, attacking Republicans in the Republican Party. So you know how he's going to handle this. You know he's going to probably allow the employees to attack Jews. You know he's probably going to allow his employees to celebrate the murder of Charlie Kirk. I don't see why he wouldn't. Right? I have no confidence that him, as someone who calls the USA a fascist regime, is going to stop other people who are using Microsoft company resources and representing Microsoft for celebrating the murder of someone that they all together call fascists. This is part of the problem that Microsoft's got. Is they not only have a low-level problem, but they have a high-level problem as well. They're a significant enough portion of their executive branch has this sort of just this evil mind rot in them that they're going to stand up for their lower-level people doing all this stuff. Now, Microsoft did make a statement that they're going to be looking at many of the people who made posts celebrating, for example, the murder of Charlie Kirk. And Microsoft did, in fact, fire 2 employees who chanted "Go away, Jews." They didn't fire most of them. They fired 2. It's not a great response. But at least clearly they were having a response within Microsoft. But I don't trust that Microsoft is going to follow through with the response that's necessary in order to make their workplace safe. Because right now, if you're a conservative person in Microsoft, if you're a Christian in Microsoft, if you're a Jew in Microsoft, if you're a Republican or a Trump voter in Microsoft, do you feel safe in your work environment? When your coworkers are chanting for your death, where your coworkers are chanting "Go away, Jews," "Death to fascists," by that they mean any conservative, etc., and your chief technical officer, your executive above you, if you're like in the engineering department of Azure, is out there parroting the exact same sentiments. The USA is a fascist regime. It's fascist, bash, man. Do you feel safe at work? Of course you don't. You are not safe at work. Those people literally want to kill you. So Microsoft needs to fire Mark Russinovich for cause. You cannot lead a corporation by doing these sorts of things. Now, no one reports to me, right? I can go out on the internet and spout off all sorts of crazy nonsense. I can go off there and, man, this executive leader is a fascist, man. And that's fine. That's my opinion. It might be a stupid opinion, but I can do it, right? Mark Russinovich has a huge company hierarchy, a huge org chart that reports into him. And considering everything that's going on, the attacks on so many of his employees, the attacks that so many of his employees are perpetrating on others, people need to know that he can make the workplace safe. He cannot. He cannot. And it's clear and obvious, I think, to all of his employees that he cannot make the workplace safe. So in my opinion, this is an OSHA violation. People should make an OSHA complaint. People should complain to their full executives, to the legal team, to the HR team. If you work inside Microsoft and you're seeing this sorts of attitude, or you personally are concerned about what's going on, reach out to the Lunduke Journal. I've got a little link on Lunduke.com that says become a tech whistleblower with a couple of tips. You can follow some, all, or none of the tips that I provide in that page, but you can contact the Lunduke Journal with internal information. Like if you've seen any response inside Microsoft to any of these things that are going on, screenshot that sucker. And let's work to get that out there in public so that we can put pressure on Microsoft to do the right thing to protect their employees from this sort of crazed violence and just utter insanity. So this sort of thing is important to note right now. So Mark Russinovich, good job, dude. Friggin' A. Thank you to the Lunduke Journal subscribers. Go to lunduke.com and click on all the links. The links are great. Every link there is fantastic. You can watch and listen and read everything from the Lunduke Journal for free, thanks to all the supporters and subscribers, which you can become one if you want to. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerds and nerdettes alike across the vast and glorious inner tube, I do declare, end broadcast.